Did you know that an abandoned Gold Coast era mansion, once intended for the exiled king of Albania, exists on the North Shore of Long Island in the Muttontown Preserve? I'm Mikey Domagala of Street Buzz, and I'm standing on what's left of the 270-acre Knollwood Estate on the Syosset-Muttontown border. It was originally built for Wall Street mogul Charles I. Hudson between 1906 and 1920 and was sold to Albania's King Zog in 1951. King Zog, born Ahmet Muhtar Bez Zogoli, ruled Albania from 1925 to 1939 before being forced to flee to Greece and then to England following an invasion by Mussolini's Italy. Zog, who survived 55 assassination attempts, was 12 years in exile in 1951 when he set his sights on a different continent where he could be safe. He chose Long Island, New York. Zog purchased the home in 1951 for $100,000, a sixth of the price of the average Long Island home today. But he never moved in. He decided to move to France instead, where he lived until he passed away at age 65 in 1961. Zog sold the estate in 1955. The 13-bedroom, 11-bath mansion that had a commercial farm, a library, an outdoor swimming pool, and beautiful sprawling gardens is now an overgrown shell of what it once was. This wasn't just a place to live, but a place to also earn income off the land. As described in a late 1940s Ladd & Nichols real estate advertisement before it was sold to King Zog, the farm group is entirely separate from the main residence, and any of the several cottages, or all of them, may be rented at an attractive annual figure, which might, in turn, be applied to the overhead, cutting it substantially. The estate had 150 acres of farm and pasture land, a 2-acre vegetable garden, a 2-acre nursery, multiple greenhouses, a chicken house capable of raising 3,000 chickens, a piggery, and a massive stable/garage to house horses in single and box stalls. The stable also had enough room for 12 cars and multiple wagons, and had 17 apartment rooms for managers of the land, chauffeurs, gardeners, farm workers, and horse handlers. Those were workers who tended to just the farm area. In the mansion, there were also apartments for the butler, housekeepers, and chefs. Now imagine how many square feet of interior and exterior space the Knollwood Estate actually had, filled with marble and immaculate structures that King Zog never got to see in person. Like I said earlier, Zog owned it for about 5 years from 1951 to 1955 where the property was active, but when he sold it, it was dormant for 4 years and the unofficial demolition began. Why did I use the word unofficial? Well, rumors went around Long Island that an Albanian treasure was hidden in the walls, prompting curious vandals to tear apart the unprotected property, stealing and breaking everything of value. The property was demolished in 1959. I'm currently standing on the most substantial remaining structure, the grand double staircase that the mansion once sat on. As you see in this photo, there's a patio-like area with trees and concrete leading up to the mansion. And here I am standing on it 100 years later. 100 years ago in this area, beautiful sprawling gardens and shrubbery. Now almost nothing, just overgrown trees and brush. Also, you can see in this photo that on the ground level of the staircase, there's some kind of structure. That looks to be this fountain that has been vandalized and destroyed all these years later. There's also other random ruins, including 2 rectangular gazebos that originally stood on both sides of the garden, as well as a few random staircases. You can see where the vandals tried to find the treasure in the walls, likely taking sledgehammers to this stuff, ruining everything. The area is usually completely overgrown, worse than it is now, so I'm lucky I'm exploring in the winter. I'm practically on an adventure through the woods to continue finding more and more, and something I did find which is extremely interesting is the entrance gate that leads all the way down to the Knollwood Estate. It's right on the corner of Route 106 and Muttontown Road, and I'm sure Long Islanders pass it every day without knowledge of what once was beyond these gates. And on the adventure, I also came across this long staircase, which is almost on the outermost edge of the Knollwood Estate. As you can see over here past me, there's the outermost stone wall, which is probably all around the entire estate, which we'll keep checking out. What I didn't realize until I studied more and more photos when I got home is that the massive walls are for guarding the property, but more specifically, for a massive separate garden that you can see in the top middle of this photo. The holes in the structure and the graffiti on everything just shows the downfall of society and the complete lack of understanding history. It shows how short-sighted people are in this world because one day, after more and more vandals come and destroy these structures, there'll be nothing left and the Knollwood Estate will be just as much of a mystery as the treasure that likely never was. For those watching, if you're going to come here and check this place out, don't touch anything. Let what remains live on forever because even with graffiti and holes in every wall imaginable, King Zog's estate is still glorious to this day. Here's some more clips of what I came across on this adventure. Please like and subscribe.